There are now so many weapons to choose from in GTA Online currently, ranging from pistols to carbine rifles, even all the way up to the extreme of alien rifles. But some of these weapons are actually really trash. So in this video I'll be sharing with you all 10 of the best weapons in my opinion inside of GTA 5 Online for beginners, and without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So just before we actually start here, this list is in no specific order, but starting off at the number 10 spot, we have the AP pistol. Now the AP pistol actually resembles the Colt Scamp and is a fully automatic machine pistol that acts very similarly to the automatic Glock 9. Unlike the Auto 9mm, the AP pistol is actually much more accurate and has lighter recoil, which then can be further lightened even more with a suppressor attachment. It also has an 18 round magazine with the option to extend to 36 rounds through if you go to the ammunition store and you can buy an upgrade. Now, due to its high accuracy, high rate of fire, common ammo, high power, and all these other great things, and a large magazine with the extended clip obviously, it is arguably the best drive-by weapon in the game. Now, if you guys don't know what I mean by drive-by weapon, you can basically hold this weapon and shoot it whilst you're on a bike, in a plane, or you know, in a vehicle in general. Now it is all round superior to the micro SMG due to the higher rate of fire and much better accuracy after firing for a long period of time, and slightly higher magazine capacity. So overall, the AP pistol is absolutely fantastic, and especially for beginners, because it only costs $5,000 in game, although you do have to be rank 33 to unlock this weapon, which to be honest only takes you a few hours to do. Next up at the number 9 spot, we have an extreme alien weapon, and that's the Widowmaker. Now the Widowmaker performs identically to the minigun, even using the same ammo somehow. Now it is a great weapon against helicopters, planes, vehicles, and multiple enemies, but unlike the minigun, it can be bought at rank 1 for a price of $499,000, which is very expensive, but it is a great alternative if you don't want to wait till rank 100 to get the minigun. Now unfortunately, the Widowmaker isn't perfect, as you get, when you are holding this weapon, you have very slow movement and you are unable to run fast, take cover, or perform evasive roles, which means you need to adapt your play style to use this weapon effectively, but over time you will get used to this weapon, and it's really good, guys. As you can see in the background gameplay, I'm absolutely shredding for cars, helicopters, NPCs, and all that good stuff. And overall, it's a great purchase for you guys. But if you are on a budget, this one probably isn't for you, and I would just wait to get the minigun at rank 100 or save up a bit more money to eventually get the Widowmaker. But continue watching this list, as there are other weapons which are much more reasonably priced. Next up, we have a personal favorite weapon amongst the GTA Online community, and that's the Special Carbine. Now this is actually one of my favorite weapons as well, so I really do like talking about this one. Basically, it's a fully automatic assault rifle which has very high damage per second, equal to that of the Gusenberg Sweeper, meaning it can take down even high armored enemies like Merryweather very fast. With its high accuracy, it is equal to that of the carbine rifle, the regular version. While very powerful and accurate, the Special Carbine has slightly less effective range than similar assault rifles, which can limit its effectiveness at longer ranges, though its accuracy somewhat makes up for this. And this weapon is basically better in every single other category in terms of assault rifles, so it doesn't really matter if it can't be used at super long ranges, because if it could be used at super long range, this would be by far the best weapon in the entire game, and it would be super overpowered. Now the weapon by default has a 30 round magazine, which can be replaced with a 60 round magazine by buying an attachment, and if you want even more rounds, you can go for the 100 round super turbo box magazine, although this will slow down your reload time. But how much does the special carbine rifle actually cost? Well, you can buy it from Ammunition like every other bloody weapon for $14,750. And it can be upgraded to the Mark II variant later down the line if you please. Now, the Mark II variant is better than the regular carbine, but I will say I'm not going to be covering that in today's video, or the Mark II variant of this weapon specifically, because the special carbine is good on its own, and as it's a beginner guide, it will get costly if you are buying Mark II variants of weapons for every single archetype or type of weapon, and that you'll be spending millions of dollars on weapons, and at the start of the game, as a beginner, as a low level, you simply won't be able to do that. Next up at the number 7 spot, we have a shotgun, and more specifically the assault shotgun. Now, the assault shotgun boasts high firepower, allowing it to deal with crowds of enemies and vehicles, and even some low flying helicopters and planes with ease. Now, it has a really good range, especially for a shotgun, with it being capable of damaging targets up to 40 meters away. And yes, I just said that, a shotgun and 40 meters of range, which is pretty crazy. Now, due to its extreme power, it is easily capable of setting almost any vehicle on fire in around a full drum, which makes it one of, or if not, the best shotgun in the entire game, period. Now, if you like PvP, then opposition players have definitely used this one on you, as it's very good at PvP due to its high damage and ease of use, making it perfect for beginner players as it's not difficult to use. And it only costs $10,000 from Ammunition, which you can make that in under a minute from doing a simple contact mission. Now, overall, perfect for lots of situations, including missions, setups, and it's even good in PvP combat, even against people over level 100 or rank 100. Next up, we have a weapon for players who love long range encounters, and that's the Heavy Sniper and the Heavy Sniper Mark II. Now, I decided I'd just bunch these together on the same list just to save some spots so we could add some more weapons on it, but the Heavy Sniper Mark II is the more expensive option, and the Heavy Sniper is just the bog standard version you can buy from Ammunition. So let's just start with the Heavy Sniper, the regular version, and it's capable of causing a very high damage per shot, and is able to one-hit kill players in the chest. So PvP players, if you don't use this already, it's a must cop for you guys. But it's also great for PvE, with even heavy armored enemies being taken out in 1 to 2 shots to the body, which is very good. Now, the Heavy Sniper is also able to do heavy damage to vehicles, and being able to destroy the tail rotor of a helicopter in only 2 shots, making it viable in tons of missions as well. And the basic Heavy Sniper, it only costs $38,150, but unfortunately you do have to be rank 90 to be able to purchase this weapon, so you will have to grind a bit to get this weapon. But let's just talk about the Heavy Sniper next, the Heavy Sniper Mark II. Now, it costs $165,375 to convert from the regular Heavy Sniper to the Mark II Heavy Sniper at a weapons workshop. Now, the Heavy Sniper Mark II improves over the regular Heavy Sniper with higher body damage against enemies and players, along with a lot of customization options, with the standard zoom scope and the advanced scope. Now, the alt weapon also has access to the night vision and thermal scopes. Despite having lesser magnification than the advanced scope, they allow the user to spot players in dark areas or detect heat signatures. So at night, or even during the day, if a player is hiding behind a shrub or under a tunnel or behind some greenery or whatnot, behind an object, you will be able to see them very, very overpowered. Now, the weapon also has a variety of different ammo types, which are super overpowered, so we will go through them right now. So starting off, we have the incendiary rounds, which have a 100% chance of igniting targets on fire, and even potentially killing them with the afterburn debuff. Next up, we have armor piercing rounds, which increase damage over armed targets. Now, this can help at taking out targets from the body easier as well, as body armor may decrease the overall effectiveness of this weapon if you were using standard rounds. Then you have the full metal jacket rounds, which improve damage over vehicles and can even penetrate bullet resistant windows on things like the Insurgent or the Kuruma. Now, they are also very effective against lightly armored vehicles and aircraft, such as helicopters and jets, and these full metal jacket rounds can actually 1 or 2 tap planes, which is really good if you are trying to bring down a jet. And finally, we have explosive rounds, which give a destructive firepower against unarmored vehicles and will knock down human targets such as players or, PvE enemies. And very effective against many types of aircraft. You've probably seen the clips sniping down the laser or the Hydra with the explosive rounds. Very, very effective. Now, these upgrades do cost more for this weapon, but they make this standard weapon super overpowered, and if you find yourself being griefed or hunted down a lot, then adding the Heavy Sniper Mark II, or at least the regular variant, to your arsenal will definitely help. Next up on the list at the number 5 spot, we have a big boy gun, and that's the combat machine gun. Now, this weapon is super powerful, with it being able to one-shot kill armored enemies, and it holds 100 rounds per magazine, and is capable of knocking down a person when hit, similar to the way the assault shotgun or the double barrel shotgun do, but is less effective than the minigun at doing so, making this gun pretty underappreciated and super overpowered at the same time. Now, since it's a heavy weapon, it can destroy unarmored vehicles quickly, making it useful in a lot of missions. Now, there is also a Mark II variant for this weapon, which does improve it, but for new players trying to save money, upgrading this weapon probably isn't the best idea at the start of the game. Now, it does cost $14,800, which is completely reasonable. Unfortunately, you do have to be rank 80 or above to be able to purchase this weapon, but there are plenty maps out there created by the community which let you keep guns before you should really have them. Overall, a great weapon for basically everything from PvP to missions and setups, a must cop for any player. Next up at the number 4 spot, we have a great explosive weapon for you guys, and especially for you beginners out there, and that's the compact grenade launcher. Now, the compact grenade launcher is the first heavy weapon that can be used in drive-bys, albeit strictly on motorbikes and boats only. Although, you can actually kill yourself using this grenade launcher, so be very careful. Now, the grenades do bounce about a bit, but they do explode most unarmored vehicles in about 1 explosion, potentially 2. Now, it's a very handy weapon to have for missions, but for PvP, I won't lie to you guys, it isn't great as the grenades aren't sticky and like to bounce around a lot as previously mentioned. But so, this must be a super expensive weapon, it must be 500, 600,000. Nope, it's $45,000 and can be purchased after rank 1, which is great as anyone can pick this bad boy up. And if you do actually have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, which a lot of people now have, it makes this weapon completely free. So go to Ammunition if you have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack and claim it for free. And even if you don't have the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, you should be picking this one up as $45,000 is nothing in this game. Next up, we have an almighty powerful hand cannon on this list, and that's the Heavy Revolver and Heavy Revolver Mark II, with the Heavy Revolver Standard being the cheap option. Now, the Heavy Revolver is a powerful handgun, very similar to the 50 caliber pistol. It is powerful enough to reduce a high-ranking player's health to half. So this is a really, really good weapon. Now, the revolver, thanks to its high damage per shot and a 60% bonus damage against vehicles, causes 256 damage per shot on vehicles, which is absolutely insane. And what's great about it is the damage does not decrease with distance, up to its maximal range of 120 meters, which is handy especially if you are fighting targets from a distance away. But there is actually a few downsides to this, a downside being there are actually no upgrades for the regular Heavy Revolver, but it does only cost $5,900 and can be purchased after rank 1, which means it's super beginner friendly, so it makes up for it in that department. But what about the Mark II variant? Well, it costs only $99,000 to convert to the Mark II variant of this pistol or hand cannon, heavy revolver, whatever you want to call it, at any weapon workshop. Now, compared to the default heavy revolver, there is quite a few changes and big buffs. It deals 25% extra damage per shot, so 200 damage instead of 160, and shoots almost 50% faster, which is insane, turning this into a basically semi-automatic, high damage, high caliber pistol. Overall, if you do have the money for the Mark II variant of this weapon, I would highly recommend it, as that 50, especially that 50% fire rate, very good, guys. This turns this weapon into an absolute beast, and I use it all the time, and you guys should be doing it as well. Let's go back and continue the alien theme from earlier in the video, as now at the number 2 spot we have the Up-n-Atomizer, which is a crazy alien shockwave weapon kinda, which is very unique and doesn't actually fire ammo. It rather fires a mysterious alien beam which shoots cars, objects and people into the air, which is absolutely mental. No other, well, weapon or thing can do this in the game. Now, the damage the weapon emits is not actually very good compared to other explosive weapons in the game, such as the railgun for example, but when a person is hit directly with a shot, it will send them flying into the air and requires a few additional shots to fully kill someone unless it is a headshot. Now, if a shot is close but doesn't directly hit the person, it will stun NPCs while unfortunately having no effect on players, so you will have to be pretty accurate with this weapon. Now, firing it at a target that's too close to the player or directly at the floor will cause the player to fly into the air. So if you were to shoot it right at the ground, then you would go flying, so you have to keep your distance with this weapon. But it is very useful in a lot of situations, as I will explain. So this can actually be rather useful against vehicles, especially ones that have become stuck and are unable to move. Otherwise, there is a short recharge time of about 1.5 seconds between shots, but it is a great weapon in many different situations, as just mentioned with the vehicle example. And it's also really fun to use, which is what the game's about, having fun. Now, how much is this weapon? Unfortunately, it is pretty expensive, costing just shy of $400,000 from Ammunition. Pretty pricey, but worth it 100%, and this can be purchased from level 1 onwards. So you technically could just walk into the game, you're starting brand new, you're loading GTA Online for the first time, and buy this absolute beast of a weapon. Obviously, wouldn't recommend that. Get some more weapons, get some money up first, but this is something you should consider investing in for the future. Now we have come to the final gun on this list, and it's a new one in the form of the M16 Service Carbine. Now, the Service Carbine has the 3rd highest damage output in the assault rifles class, as each round inflicts 34.75 damage points, being a 10-shot kill to players above level 100. Now, Service Carbine has a magazine capacity of 30 rounds, but it can be extended to 60 rounds with a modification. Now, it has moderate accuracy, but it can be improved with the grip attachment, meaning this weapon is very viable in lots of different situations. But unfortunately, it's not as good as a Special Carbine, but great nonetheless. But actually, how do you get this weapon? Well, it's a bit different from some of the other weapons on this list. You can do it 2 ways. You can either obtain 5 parts randomly scattered across the map, or you can just buy it straight up from Ammunition for $370,000 if none of the weapons parts are found. But if you get all 5 randomly scattered apart weapons parts, then you can just get this thing for free. But these weapons parts spawn randomly across the map and they're super annoying. I've actually only found 2 of them so far, but I just bought the weapon outright. But I'm going to be honest, when I was making this video, I basically bought every weapon and tried it out. And this is my first time using the M16 Service Carbine, and I won't lie, it's been one of my favorite weapons in the game, especially in the assault rifle class. And it's been absolutely fantastic. So if you're a new player and do have the time to go about and try find these parts, or if there's a pattern emerging about where these parts are actually spawning, then definitely pick this one up over the special carbine, because you will be saving a bit of money there. But that is all for today's pretty long video. If you made it this far, congratulations, and please drop a like and subscribe for more content on this channel. Currently I have school, and quite a few tests and all that sort of stuff, you know, school stuff going on at the moment. So uploads are a bit sporadic, doing a lot of the shorts content, really enjoying doing that, just pushing out as many videos as I can that I do enjoy doing, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them as well. If you disagreed with any of my picks on this list or thought that I should have included some other picks, then feel free, write me a comment down in the comment section down below. Now, I haven't included all Mark II weapons into this, I just included the Mark II weapons that I thought were the most important and the least expensive ones, because obviously this is a beginner oriented guide. I don't really want to be throwing in $2 million worth of weapons into this list. But thanks for watching guys, like and subscribe, and take care everyone.